Sai Ram. In this Paranam, I want to mention about the Bal Vikas Conference which was there. Towards the end of 1983, this was the time when the Hillview Stadium as we see it today was not at one level. It was just the extension of the hill, and the hill on which today you see Lord Shiva and the Buddha Vihara and Shirdi Baba and all that. Extension of that hill, and that would, it was full of stones and pebbles and all kinds of things. And one day Swami sent word to us that all the students could go to the ground after the classes and clear up the place. Swami said, you need not come for darshan to mandir. I myself will come and give you darshan in the ground. And so we all went there. I remember at that time Swami had given all of us khaki dresses to wear. We didn't want our white dresses to get spoiled, and we all wore that, and we spread out. Everyone was involved in the work. I remember even from the topmost, even the vice chancellor and the registrar, everyone got involved. Every teacher was involved in the work. It was such a beautiful experience. And our duty was to collect all the pebbles and all and clear up the ground. And then Swami would come. When Swami came, he would also come behind Swami's car. There would also be a jeep. And Swami would come. He would be so happy to see all of us working. Of course, when the first time Swami came, something happened which made me reminisce about the 70s, the early 70s. And that was, Swami came with a government officer, some IAS officer. And Swami showed him from where the Vidyagiri gate is there. Swami showed him the ground and boys working. And the moment Swami's car came in, all the boys surrounded Swami's car. And Swami told that IAS officer, did you see the difference? He said, when an officer like you goes, even people who are not working in your offices will suddenly start working. Whereas my boys are always working, and when they see me, they come, they forget their work and come and see me. Swami said that is the principal difference. And this IAS officer who came with Swami also was very happy at the comparison. He said, yes, Swami, that's very true, very true. And then Swami told all of us, see, even when I come, you need not come like this. You be where you are, I will come to you. And behind Swami's car, that jeep contained sweets, some laddu on one day, badusha on another day, and or apples on another day. And Swami would come to each of our work spots, wherever we are working, and then he would throw this to each one of us and ask us, tell us to eat. Okay, so this was very, very nice. I also remember very beautifully at that time, in the middle of the ground, they had put a carpet and a swivel chair on which Swami could sit, and the vice chancellor, the registrar, there were one or two people. I remember a person by name Mr. Jagannath, who was their income tax commissioner. All of them would sit around Swami. Of course, the warden was there, and Professor Kasturi also was there, the controller of exams. This made up the entire group. They all would sit around Swami, and Swami would sit in the middle. He would turn around like that and see all the boys at work. And there would be some talk. It seems one of those days, we got to know later, that Swami, in a swivel chair, he just turned full circle. And then he said, hey, look at this. It looks like a natural stadium. ఇక్కడ ఒక స్టేడియం వస్తే బాగుంటుంది కదా, he said. This looks like this is a natural stadium, he said, because on all sides there were hills. And Swami said, if you make a stadium here, I mean, that's a man-made stadium, or let's say a God-made stadium. Then it would be beautiful, isn't it? He said. And everyone said, yes, Swami, it would be very nice. And I remember that was a Saturday. The next day morning, when we were going for darshan, Prasanthi Nilayam boys used to go for darshan on Sundays only in the morning. The other days, they would go only in the evening. So that day morning and Sundays morning and evening, they will go for darshan. So the next day morning, as we were going for darshan, it was around 6:30 or something, we saw carts unloading rocks and stuff like that, and bricks and all that. Then only we got to know that Swami has decided to build a stadium. Of course, the first stand to come up was on the western side. The first stand. In fact, there are beautiful photos in which Swami is sitting there along with all the students and professors and watching the lemon and spoon race and the sack race, which the faculty members were taking part in. And I remember how Swami enjoyed the whole sports meet, that particular sports meet. So it was very, very, very beautiful, and that today is such a lovely stadium. Swami looks into the future, and then he brings it back in time for us to see. Later on, of course, things get concretized. I remember one very beautiful incident which happened in the General Hospital in Whitefield. In those days, Swami would inaugurate everything. Swami would be so gracious. Even small things like OHP projector and all, I remember Swami came and inaugurated. When the Apple computer came, the desktop, the personal computer came, Swami came and inaugurated in the maths department. So that day Swami had come to inaugurate
Dr. Savitri and Dr. Bal
and all that. Prayed to Swami that Swami should inaugurate that dental chair. And Swami very graciously consented to come and inaugurate that dental chair. And as Swami was about to get into the car, Dr. Badrinath of Shankar Netralaya had come, and Swami said, you also come. You're also a doctor. I'm going to the hospital to inaugurate something. You also come. So he also got into the car with Swami and they went there. And when they went to that room where this chair was kept, Swami put his hand on the chair and told him, this is an X-ray machine. And you know, for those who were there, it was terribly embarrassing, and they were trying to tell Swami, this dental chair and all that. But Swami kept on repeating, it's a X-ray machine. And after some time, Dr. Savitri said she also gave up. And Swami continued to talk in that vein. 10 years later, I had gone to the general hospital along with some student for some treatment. And some X-ray had to be taken. And you know, when we went in, Dr. Savitri said, the X-ray machine is in this room. And even as we were entering that room, suddenly she said, my God, she said. I asked what happened. She said, 10 years back, when a dentist chair was to be inaugurated and Swami came, Swami said, this is an X-ray machine. And we tried to tell Swami, Swami would not listen. He kept on saying it's a X-ray machine. And today in this very place, we have the X-ray machine. Nothing Swami says is without substance. He always says something. It is just that being the Lord with 3 eyes, he can see the past, present and the future. It's just that our timeline doesn't always coincide with his. He's always aware of what is happening, and he knows what is going to come in the future. He can peep into the past and peer into the future, as Kasturi sir says. So this is what happened, and that year there was this Bal Vikas Conference. There were students who were coming from, there was an amphitheater like this thing created behind the Isharma school. I remember Swami would come in the evening and children from various states would put up their programs and all, and it was very, very nice. In the evening with the setting sun behind us, this would be facing the east behind the extension behind Ishrama school. This was there. And towards the end, we had something called a cosmic play. Students from all over the country were taking part in this, and they were all dressed up in their as planets and various navagrahas. They were coming, and they had practice only for 3 days. And because children from different parts of the country were coming, they just met they practiced their parts separately. When they came to Puttaparthi, Prasanthi Nilayam, they came together and had only 3 or 4 sessions of practice they had, but it came out so superbly. Swami was very happy. Another thing which I always remember with great joy is there were about 7,000 children who had come. And Swami is giving darshan to them. My God, it was such a sight to see. In those days, the students and teachers would sit on the portico facing the public. And all the children were sitting in the darshan where Swami would give darshan. And wave after wave of students would come forward. And, it was so difficult to control their enthusiasm. And every child was so excited. Seeing their happiness, one saw that reflected in Swami's bliss. Swami was so happy seeing all of these children, their pure faces, their innocent faces. It drew him closer to them. And then he gave a speech. I remember every line of that speech was applauded, including the one in which Swami said, hey, you should not clap for every sentence. Even they clapped for that also. For them, it was enough to hear Swami's voice. That was the beautiful session that we had, which I remember very, very, very vividly. The other things which happened in those years, I will narrate in the coming Parayanam session. Thank you, Sai Ram.